Hey guys, welcome to another Lifestyle of Eden podcast. I'm your host, Nick Tognietti. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that I think is extremely relatable to each and every person. It's a high-end question that I get asked a lot in my practice, and it's how do we continue this lifestyle on vacation? Coaches, especially y'all, can really relate to this. I don't get this, not rejection, objection anymore. But one of the objections I used to get all the time was, hey, Nick, I can't sign on. Actually, you know what's funny? I kid you not, this is not a joke. The two busiest months, three actually, the busiest months for people that sign on with me, actually 4 months, is June, July, November, December. Those are actually the slowest months for every fitness business in the world. Why? Because those are the times of vacation. People are on summertime. They don't want to hire a nutritionist and get on a program during that time. They're going to be traveling all the time for the kids' sports and to Florida for vacation. And then November comes around, Thanksgiving, and then December, they're spending tons of money on gifts and eating bad food and this, that, and the other. Those are the busiest months for sign on with me. I sign on during those 4 months, probably close to 60 clients, maybe more, but I'd say about 60 clients on those 4 months together. That's a lot of clients to sign on during that time period. Most people are dropping that many clients. I literally gain that many clients. And it used to be, oh, I can't sign on during that time because of this, blah, blah, blah. And one of the things that I've taught people is you're not coming into my practice to then go jack around and screw around and eat crap right when you're done with me. Otherwise, my practice is really null and void. My business is called Lifestyle of Eden. You have to learn how to live this as a lifestyle. It's not, hey, I'm going to do what Nick says and then I'm going to go on vacation and jack off and not jack off like that, but like jack around and just eat whatever. No, that's not what you're doing. Otherwise, you don't understand the lifestyle of Eden. This is a lifestyle. Anywhere I go, wherever I am, I live this lifestyle. Now, if I'm on vacation, might I enjoy a couple things that I usually wouldn't on a regular basis? Sure. But from a general perspective, I'm not going to Hawaii or Israel for 7 days to eat crap. This is a lifestyle. So I want to teach us how to do that a little bit because that's one of the number one questions I get from clients, especially during this time right now. Hey, Nick, I'm leaving for a week and a half, or hey, Nick, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be traveling a lot for the kids' baseball games. Can you show me how to do this, that, and the other? Or hey, Nick, me and my fiance are going here. How do we do this while we're in Europe? It's all these things. So I want to break that down because I feel like this is really practical and it's super important. I'll tell you a couple of the basic tools that I do when I travel, right? So, like in March, I was in Nashville for a week. I'm not weighing food. I'm not having all these packed foods and all that, this, that, and the other. Or whenever I'm traveling, like I just don't do all of that. So I'll give you some of the basics and then I'll go a little bit more complex. So on the basics, what I always tell people, what I do is I pack a bunch of sandwich baggies. If I'm gone for 5 days, I'll pack 5 to 10 sandwich baggies. And one sandwich baggie will have some oatmeal in it. And then another sandwich baggie, I'll have a scoop of Metapure from New Ethics, which you can use my discount code, all caps, Tognietti10. And then what I do with that is I can either have that for a breakfast wherever I am, where I just put the oatmeal, I can have it in a bowl and cook it, or it's, oh, I can't cook it right here. Okay, great. Then I'll just put it in a cup or a shaker cup with the protein powder and shake it up and just throw it back as a shake. But you can do that, and then you can add fresh fruit on top of it. I usually like to bring like a jar of honey everywhere I go, a jar of raw honey, and then like a jar of almond butter, and I can add that on there. Sometimes in that oatmeal, I'll have like flax seeds and chia seeds already in there so that it's ready to go when I pour it into a bowl or into my cup or whatever. The other thing is that I always say utilize poke bowls. Every city I go to, I find a poke place near me. Why? Poke food is all clean food if you utilize it. It's vegetables, it's fruits, it's brown rice or white rice as a base, it's fish, it's either tofu or edamame. I eat 1 to 2 poke bowls wherever I'm at all the time. The other thing is clean sushi. I'll go to sushi places and just get like nigiri, white rice, or like some really clean rolls, like just tuna rolls with tuna and seaweed and white rice, or salmon and seaweed and white rice, something like that. The other thing is that I really utilize a lot of fresh fruit. I will literally have one meal a day where it's just a bunch of fresh fruit. I'll go buy like a bag of apples, and I'll always bring with me like a little container of medjool dates. And for one meal, I'll be sitting there in a meeting or something, and while I'm out of town, and I'll just pull out 3 apples and 4 medjool dates, and that'll be a meal. Super, super clean for you, super good. Will not spike your blood sugar to a dangerous level, like people always say. It's going to clean out your insulin sensitivity, saturated fat in the cells, all that. It's fantastic, right? Adding fiber, helping with bowel movements. Also, I load up on water. I make sure I'm still having tons of water, and then I try to make sure that I'm walking a lot. I will still make time to be walking like for 60 minutes a day somewhere or whatever. I am one of the people that I know, one of the few, where when I go on vacation, I actually lose weight. Why? Because I'm not stressed out about weighing food or anything like that. I'm just eating clean food. I might even actually eat less than I do on a daily basis, but I always actually lose weight because I stay eating clean, and I think my stress is so low that like I'm not stressed out about a lot of the daily things that I implement into my lifestyle. But the other thing too is, pack a bag of brown rice cakes. Brown rice cakes or jasmine rice cakes or lightly salted rice cakes. The reason being is if you ever want just like a quick snack or a quick breakfast or something like that, you can pull out 2 or 3 rice cakes, put some of that almond butter on it that I told you to bring a jar of, some honey, and if you want to put some dates or fresh fruit on there, boom, you're good to go. And then you have your little protein powder that you can put into a shake or whatever. So those are all easy go-to snacks. Bring dried fruits that are not loaded with sugar and stuff like that. That's all like really easy, good go-to stuff. The other thing too is if you don't know about Icon Meals as a website, you can literally order your food weighed out and cooked out just like you would do on a meal plan at home. And they will ship your food already measured out in each meal to your hotel door or wherever you're at, your Airbnb, like they'll be sitting there. So I can order it to a hotel, and I can get to the hotel and I'll be like, hey, are there Icon meals sitting here for Nick Tognietti? And they'll be like, yeah, oh, they're right here in the back. So boom, you're good to go or whatever. They're very good and accessible for travel. But the other thing too, I'll give you an example. Like for 4th of July last weekend, I have I had some friends come into town and that were here. And so we walked downtown Houston, and there's all these different restaurants, and we found some where they just do, you can order like really clean stuff. So like I got grilled fish with cooked in no oil or butter. I always tell them don't cook my food in oil or butter. They had steamed white rice or brown rice. And then I had them do steamed vegetables instead of sauteing it in a bunch of their stuff. You can saute, but I don't like it in oil and butters. So they just steamed it, and it was like, oh, dude, sweet. Or whatever. Even if they add like a little curry sauce or a little sweet and sour sauce to it, it's like, hey, are those the healthiest sauces in the world? Some of them? No. But is that still a fantastic meal on vacation or whatever? Yeah. Like, it doesn't mean you have to eat air. It doesn't have to be white rice and freaking grilled chicken. Like, it can have a little bit of this, that, and the other, but it's better than going and getting fried chicken from Popeyes or your fruit roll-ups and chips from your gas station and all this crap. That's why I say when I go on vacation, I still enjoy some goodies. Like I might be like, hey, I'm gonna have some extra sauce here, or hey, I'm gonna have this, whatever. But anywhere I go, I pretty much always tell them, hey, don't cook my food in oil. They'll be like, what do you want me to cook it in? And I'll be like, water. Just put water on the grill. Like just sprinkle some water on there. Like I don't need you to cook it in oil and butter. I don't want all that. So you always tell places to do that. And sometimes people go, oh, Nick, I'm nervous to be a burden. You're not a burden. They serve you. You're the customer. You're paying for your food. I'm not paying them to make me cancer and put it in my mouth. I'm paying them to make me a meal to my liking. Like it's that simple. Not only that, you have to understand doing the right thing will always be the minority. So the fact that I'm waiting until marriage to have sex, I'm the minority. The fact that I save the money I save and spend money like I do in a very minimalistic fashion, I'm the minority. Because I don't cuss all the time and do this, that, and the other, I'm the minority. Because I eat clean and when I go out, I demand that, I'm the minority. So when people say all these restaurants don't do that, that's fine. All these women that I've been on dates with also don't wait till marriage. Hence why I'm not in a relationship with them. So don't expect to sit there like everyone or every restaurant is going to have that. But no, we're in 2025 and it's very easy to find healthy food today. There are so many health conscious restaurants that are freaking fantastic. In fact, there's a lot of steakhouses now. They did not used to do this. They're now starting to do this, and it's not every one of them, but they're starting to have a grass-fed menu and wild caught menu where they might have fillets and stuff and all that on one menu, but on the other menu it'll be fillets and it will be grass-fed. So like I only eat grass-fed beefs and wild caught fish. So they're starting to add that, and you can tell them, hey, don't cook in oil or butter, this, that, and the other. Now, will I go to a steakhouse here and there and like really treat myself every once in a while and be like, hey, I want that lobster mac and cheese, or I don't eat lobster actually, but I'd be like, can I have that mac and cheese? Or I want some of those rolls and stuff like that. Sure. I don't never eat those things. To be honest with you, a couple weeks ago, I had my girlfriend came in town and we went to have a really good lunch at a very clean, healthy place here. And next door, I remembered was the number one cupcake place in the city of Houston. And so I was like, hey, I know you like cookies. Do you like cupcakes? And she was like, yeah, I love them. And I go, listen, the number one cupcake place in all of Houston is literally next door. I go, honestly, let's just go there. Let me show you how good this place is. So we went and got a few cupcakes. Now, when was the last time I had a cupcake? Dude, I don't think I've had a cupcake in a year and a half or 2 years. I literally remember I had half a piece of cake for my birthday 5 months ago. But dude, I never eat that stuff ever. Yeah, no, every once in a while I'll be like, sure, let's go do that or something. You know what I mean? But from a general lifestyle perspective, I eat really clean and I know how to do it on travel, and it's very possible. And you don't have to worry about weighing out your food. Weighing out your food is not what's going to get you to lose weight. Eating clean and lowering your stress and getting your sleep and honoring my 7 pillars is what's going to get your hormones right, get your fertility in order, get you to lose weight, get you to have a great sex drive, get you to have great energy. That's what's going to do that. So I think that this is a very practical way to go on vacation, to go on your travels, and to really implement those things as a lifestyle. Like I said, I was just telling somebody the other day, I said, dude, no, there is never in the history of mankind ever been a cupcake that has caused diabetes. Ever. It's never happened. It never has happened. It never will happen. Why? What is diabetes? Diabetes is an A1C over 6.5, 6.5 or more on your blood work. Do you know what an A1C is? An A1C is a 90-day average of your blood glucose. It's not a one-day average. Nobody became diabetic in a day. So for people that say, oh, that cupcake caused diabetes, no, you're an idiot. Stop talking and stop teaching. You don't know what you're talking about. Eating cupcakes and crap food as a lifestyle caused diabetes. So, like I said, it's a 90-day average. You did something for the last 90 days that is a crap lifestyle, no sleep, stressed out, poor food, bad metabolic health, inflammation that's causing systemic inflammation and insulin resistance, all these things, right? Yeah, that caused you diabetes. So when I brought my girlfriend to get some cupcakes that one time, that didn't cause diabetes. It's a one-time thing. So learn how to live the lifestyle. I always say, have that cupcake if you want it. That one cupcake is not going to cause the problem. The lifestyle of that cupcake is going to cause the problem. Eating that cupcake even every week or multiple times a week will cause a problem. But I never eat that stuff. So live a clean lifestyle, live my 7 pillars. And then when you go on vacation, yeah, you can have a little bit extra sauce on that thing here or there or whatever. But generally speaking, like I said, even whenever I went out to eat last week, what did I have? At this place, they did grilled mahi and mahi with white rice and steamed vegetables. And then I did add a little bit of sauce on there. I got a fresh pressed juice and stuff. It was just a good meal. It tasted fantastic. I loved it. But that's easy to do in 2025. So just remember, like, this doesn't have to be rocket science. You're eating whole foods. A lot of times you can bring these foods, like I listed earlier in the podcast, to help along the way and to help like with most of your day. But for that random meal or whatever, it's like, yeah, let's go do that. And be the person that stands up. Let me tell you something right now. If I was out with friends and I was like, they were like, hey, we're going to just go get a quick meal at Cane's real quick or Sonic. You want to come? I'm going to be like, no, that's not where I'm going to lunch, dude. Sorry. Y'all are going there? Okay, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'll even go by myself. Like, not going to happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. Be somebody who's actually bold. Have a pair of balls. Yes, I'm telling you right now on this podcast, have a pair of balls. If somebody just told me, hey, Nick, we're going to go to the strip club, and I know that all y'all have girlfriends and wives, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm not going. Sorry. Why are you going to be bold when it comes to cheating on your girlfriend, but you're not going to be bold when it comes to destroying your own physical body and health? Grow a pair of balls, be an adult, be a man, be a woman, and stand up for what's right. It's pretty simple. But we live in this world of like fear of what people think. I don't care what people think. I don't care what any pastor or doctor thinks in ministry. That's why a lot of people probably are annoyed with me. I'm like, I really don't care. I don't live by your rules. I don't live by your traditions of man. I do what I want according to my relationship with the Lord. I don't care what you think that says. I don't care about how you look at me if I say this. Yes, I do it the way I want to do it. And I don't listen or fear like what doctors think and medical professionals like, oh, Nick's saying this. And yeah, I don't care. I also don't care what friends or family think if I want to eat a certain way or if I bring my food or if I do this or if I do that. Like, I don't care. Because guess what? You don't pay my bills. If I'm unhealthy, you don't pay my medical bills. When I went through my divorce, nobody else had to suffer that but me. You may think you had to because you were close to me and you felt bad for me. No, I had to suffer that. So why would I care what anybody else thinks about anything? You don't pay my stuff. So grow up, have a pair of balls, and make the right decisions. You're always going to be a minority making the right decisions. Just know that. But it's very possible, it's very rewarding, and it will pay off tremendously, short term and long term. Okay? So keep up with my stories. I feel like I do a pretty good job at posting these things on my stories whenever I'm traveling. I do that to be an example for all of you so that you can see, hey, how is Nick eating when he's in Dallas this weekend? Or, hey, when Nick goes to St. Louis here, or he goes to Iowa for the weekend, what's he eating? How's he doing this? Like, this stuff is very easy. It's very possible. And then, yeah, I might add in a goodie here or there. But like I said, adding in that goodie here or there on a vacation, I don't live that lifestyle at home. So that's not going to really hurt me. You know what I mean? So keep that stuff in mind. The more that you live this lifestyle properly, the more that one-time thing isn't going to be a problem. All right, everybody. I hope that this helps you out. I think it will. I just noticed that it's a major question I ask, and then I always bring great relief to my clients when I tell them, hey, chill out. You're good. You're good. They're like, I'm not going to be able to follow the meal plan exactly. And I'm like, to be honest with you, that's probably going to be better for your stress. Like, just relax. Just enjoy yourself. Enjoy whole foods. Eat until you're full, and don't eat again until you're hungry. It's that simple. We need to simplify what we were designed to do, which is to eat whole foods. You have a hunger level with fiber and everything that will tell you when you're full. Okay, great. You're full. Stop eating. Oh, you're hungry again in a few hours. Good. Go eat more whole foods. It's that simple. All right, guys, look at the ingredients. Tell people to stop cooking in oil and butter. Tell them to do these things. When you look at dried fruits and fruit snacks and all that, make sure it's real whole foods, not loaded with added sugar and processed ingredients. When you're looking at buying your sourdough, make sure it's flour, water, salt. We need to get back to just knowing ingredients and getting to the ground, getting to the lifestyle of Eden. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know.